Hi. Okay, new format. I'm going to use video for the next few podcasts. So today I thought I'd talk about bedtime.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Colari. I'm a child and family therapist and a parenting coach and the founder of Connected Parenting. And welcome to the Connected Parenting Weekly Podcast. Join me every week and we'll tackle everything from temper tantrums to bedtime to sibling issues to teenage angst. Parenting can be so wonderful, but it can be so hard. Parents often say to me, "Hey, can you just come live at my house?" This is the next best thing. Let's do this together.
Bedtime is a real issue for parents. And I, as a family therapist, I feel like sleep deprivation is a huge, huge problem. I have all kinds of kids and families that I'm working with, and the kids are going to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock. They're getting up at 7 or 6:30 in the morning, and it's absolutely not enough sleep. So with sleep deprivation issues, you're going to have aggression, you're going to have crankiness, you're going to have irritability, meltdowns, all of those things. So I really think that's a really big problem with kids today. And I think I've seen kids 10 and 11 years old up till 11 o'clock at night. Little ones, 7, 6 years old that are up at 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's really not good for their health. Sleep is when their brain detoxifies and cleans itself. Kids only grow in their sleep, so they only physically grow in their sleep, and they learn in their sleep. So during the day, things kind of get downloaded, and at night, the brain actually creates those neural pathways. That's when learning actually happens. So sleep is incredibly, incredibly important, and it's also critical for emotional regulation. So what often happens in a lot of families is by the end of the day, you've had a long day, you're exhausted, you just want to have your show, and everybody should be asleep. You want to have a little bit of adult time, a little bit of an evening. And often the kids are still up, or I'm scared, or they're running out of their room. Mommy, I need something. So here are a few bedtime tips for you. Now, as always with connected parenting, before any strategies, you've got to remember that you start with the calm technique, you start with the mirroring, and if you want a reminder, go back to some of the earlier podcasts or check out the book, or there's other videos on connectedparenting.com. But that's when you really connect. I get it, and you're having so much fun, and who wants to go to bed? I wouldn't want to either if I was little, but you know what? I love you, and I love you enough for you to be mad at me. And I know it's really important that you need to go to bed. So we're going to have to go to bed now, and give you a minute to think about it. Really make a good choice. I trust you. I believe you can do it. I'll come back in a minute, and off to bed we go. And often that will help a lot. For the really sticky kind of gladiator kids, it's not going to work. You're going to have a bit of an issue. So here's a few things you can try. First, it's lovely to have some kind of ritual. Have a little bedtime candle. Have a little song. Go to a special cupboard and pull out the bedtime candle. And if you have a few kids, then each of them get a bedtime candle. It can be the kind that's flameless that you flick on. And you have a song. You sing a little song as you go upstairs, and then you bring the candle in to brush your teeth, and then you bring the candle in to get your jammies on. And then just before you blow out the candle, you are thankful for the day. If you're religious, you say a prayer. If you just want to take a spiritual aspect, you can just be thankful for all the things that happened that day, and then you flick off the candle. So having a concrete ritual can sometimes really help, and that's really good for younger kids, like under 8, probably, maybe 9, but probably under 8. Another thing that can really work is something that I call 3 wishes. So, and there's more of this in my book if you want more details, but you say to your child, you get a bunch of sticky notes, put sticky notes up, and you've got, I need another drink of water, I need a back rub, close my closet door, I'm hungry, I have to go to the bathroom, whatever it is, and you write them all in the sticky notes. And after you've done the bedtime routine, after you've done the candle, after you've laid down with them and read them a story or whatever your bedtime routine is, then they get to ask something. They get to pick 3 wishes. So they get to pick 3 of those sticky notes off the wall. And those are things that you would be allowing. And a sticky note can't be going downstairs and watching TV. Like, it has to be something that's kind of part of things. After they've used the 3 sticky notes, that's it. You're done. You don't keep coming back. So at that point, what can be really helpful is a strategy called thumbs up. So I kind of love this one. And this is really good for kids who are super anxious, who just don't like being in their bed. And what you do is you say to your child, you know what, I mirror. I get it. It's hard to fall asleep, and your brain races, and you think about all kinds of things, or you get scared in your bed. So I'll tell you what, all you have to do is lie in your bed, and your job is to fall asleep. You can do sleep. You can do this. And my job is to march outside your door. So you tell your child, we're not going to talk to each other, but I'm going to be checking. And every few minutes, I'm going to come in, I'm going to give you a thumb up. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to give you a thumbs up. And your child then gives you a thumbs up back. You don't, not a lot of talking, no sort of engaging, just a thumbs up. And what you do is you come back, you say goodnight to them, go away, and literally 10 seconds later, you come back and you give them a thumbs up. 20 seconds later, you do it again. Maybe 30 seconds later, you do it again. The key is that you do it before they ask for you. So you want to preempt their call for you. So just when they're like falling asleep, like, oh, where's she? Oh, there she is, right? Or falling asleep, like, oh, there's dad. So you're coming in quite frequently, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. You can slowly space it out. And what you'll find is, even for the really, really anxious kids, 10 to 15 minutes, they're asleep. They're done. You come back and they don't give you a thumbs up back because they're sleeping. Now, a lot of people say, I don't have time to walk outside their door for 15 minutes, but you don't have time not to. You're doing it anyways. They're coming out, you're telling them to go back, they're crying, no, lie down with me, I'm scared. So this is a really neat way of teaching them that they can do bedtime. They've got this. And that you are marching outside the door, and you do this for 2 or 3 nights. Each night you're extending how long you're doing it for. And before you know it, it takes 2 or 3 thumbs up and they're asleep. If you have a child, now that works for most kids, honestly, that's a pretty great strategy and it'll work. It's a little annoying because that's all you're doing for 10 or 15 minutes, but it really does work. And they just have the confidence. They're settled when they go to sleep. All they really had to do was focus on going to sleep. They knew you were there. And then you're extending it, and eventually you don't have to do it. If you have a little one that this doesn't work for them, and they get out of their bed and you're taking them back to bed, and then they're crying and you're lecturing them and they've got to get to bed and I've got things to do and mommy has to do this, and we get all wound up and angry. Some kids would rather fight with you. They'd actually rather get in a big fight with you than be alone in that bed. So as you are engaging and talking to them, they'll take it. Good enough. I'd rather have mad mommy than no mommy. I'd rather have mad daddy than no daddy. So we actually are kind of fueling the whole system when we keep engaging with them. So the best thing to do after you've mirrored and connected and done the baby play and all the things we've talked about in earlier podcasts, and you've tried the thumbs up and you've tried the 3 wishes, if they still come out of their room, you have to be absolutely neutral, which is also in one of the other podcasts. As calm as you can be, you take their hand, you walk them back, you put them in bed, you leave the room. They get out of the bed, they come and get you, you take their hand, you put them back to bed. And all you're really saying is, shh, 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 no, bedtime. No, and you're staying absolutely calm. You're not yelling. You're not even getting angry. Absolutely like a robot. You're putting them back in bed. And you might do this for, I don't even know. I've had kids where parents have had to do it for 45 minutes, some longer. Stay neutral, because the minute you crack and you start yelling, they got you. They actually got the reward. There it is. They get that blast of adrenaline. They took you down with them, so to speak. So really just stay neutral. You might have to take turns with your partner. If you're sharing the parenting, take turns. And eventually they will learn, I didn't get the reward of getting mommy or daddy mad. I didn't get angry mommy instead of no mommy. All of that work, it took hours or however long it took of going back to bed, still didn't get me anything, and they fall asleep. And then what you'll find is the next night when you go to do that again, it'll be shorter, and the next night it'll be shorter. This is a hard one. Staying neutral is the hardest part. The other thing I would say to you, especially if your kids are little, if you're comfortable with them being in your bed and they've been in your bed, make sure if you're going to do this that you are rested, that you don't have something big coming up at work. You're not planning some big family event. You don't have a wedding or a bar mitzvah or something. That we don't start it then. Start it when you are rested and ready to follow through. Because if you start it, you got to finish it, or you'll make it worse. So, and there's nothing wrong with, doing a lot of mirroring in the background and doing some of the baby play we talked about for a little while, talking to your kids about pretty soon when you're this old or in a month, we're going to actually work together to help you so that you can do sleep, so that you can stay in your bed all by yourself. So make sure make sure this is well timed. You want to be able to do this when you can follow through and when you know that you can stay neutral. If you can't stay neutral, don't try it. So hopefully that'll help, and good luck with your bedtimes.
Hi, I'm Barrett Kaleri from Connected Parenting. I hope you enjoyed our podcast. And don't forget to check us out on the web at connectedparenting.com and like us and follow us on Facebook.